All right, hey everybody, this is Patrick Adams, and I am here once again with Katie Anderson. She is the owner and the founder of KBJ Anderson Consulting, and I'm so excited because I'm going to be joining with her in May for the Japan study trip, and we actually have a new add-on to the trip from the last time that we talked, Katie.
Yes.
So we have Mr. Yoshino who's joining us, who's been on your study trips in the past. And
Yep.
now we have a new visitor that's coming, correct?
Yes, I'm super excited. Not only will Asao Yoshino be joining us for the majority of the 5-day experience, Ritsuo Shingo, who is the son of Shigeo Shingo, is going to be joining us for the first 2 days as we go through the whole experience of the Toyota supply chain in the Nagoya area. So yeah, he's on the bus. So you'll have both Yoshino and Shingo on the bus at meals, hanging out, talking, and sharing their experiences.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that. I'm going to have to really take some notes and draft up some really great questions for them while we're traveling between the different plants, and I'm excited for that. Hey, I had another question for you too.
Yep.
So on your study, so you're facilitating these study trips, but I was kind of curious on what have been some of your personal learnings during these trips?
Yeah, I've been reflecting a lot on sort of some of the key takeaways over what's almost been 5 years now since I first moved to Japan, which is incredible to think it's been that long. And there's a word that's really been standing out to me recently that I had not heard in context of what we call lean in US or elsewhere until I'd moved to Japan. And many Japanese companies use the word revitalize and revitalization when they talk about doing continuous improvement and why they bring Toyota Production System or lean principles to their organization. They talk about it in reference to revitalizing like the human spirit, as well as revitalizing industry and communities, especially after the recent recession several years ago in Japan. And that, I don't know, that is such an active, sort of powerful word that is not one that I've ever heard about. And so it really, to me, connects to so much of what these passionate Japanese leaders talk about in terms of connecting with the human spirit as like their key focus and driving continuous improvement. So I'm really excited to bring that revitalization concept to our tour as well.
Right, and it ties in perfectly with just the culture in a lot of the companies in Japan and how different that is from the U.S., I'm sure.
Yes, and not all companies in Japan are this model of what we consider lean thinking in practice, but that concept of revitalization is one that really stands out to me. And what actually brought it to me was talking recently to some people who are interested in joining our study trip, claiming the few remaining seats that are on the trip, about how that they're also seeking for something to spark them to get to another level of their own thinking. And I thought, well, in many ways, we consider this trip like a revitalization, for each of the participants to come along and get re-energized and reinvigorated with new ideas and come back and sort of spread that vitality through the organizations you touch as well.
Oh, absolutely. That is definitely one piece that I plan to be part of and take away for sure. So I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of the guests, who are some of the people that will be joining us? What industries do they represent?
Yeah, we have a really great mix of industries and countries that are represented, and a mix of genders, so that's really exciting. We have a few people from Australia and who are agile consultants and coaches down there, so bringing in that perspective as well. I have several people from North America, so Canada and North America, or United States, and Ireland as well, and have a lot of representation from logistics, so ports and airport authorities, which is going to be really interesting to have along, as well as folks like yourself who are out playing a coaching and consulting role either internally in their organizations or as external consultants as well.
Well,
And some manufacturing too. So we got some
right.
direct operators coming along too.
Oh, that's great. We're going to definitely have some great conversations around best practices and just some really great sharing around these experiences. I'm so excited to
absolutely. That was one of the, the highlights was not just the itinerary, but the shared learning and discussion that happened and people bringing forward their experiences from their own practices from the last trips. Yeah, it's great.
So Katie, you have 2 seats still available, maybe a few more, but definitely 2 seats. And how can people, if they're interested to get on this trip with us in May, how can they register? How can they get connected with you?
All the information's on my website, which is kbjanderson.com and then /Japan trip. Of course, anyone can feel free to reach out and email me directly. All my contact information's on my website too. Happy to set up a call and answer any questions. Really excited to get this trip filled up by as soon as possible. I can't believe we're almost sold out. It's fabulous.
Yeah,
and I think all the testimonials of the past participants really speak for themselves.
Absolutely. Well, and if anyone, if they don't get in on this trip, because the seats will fill pretty fast, there is another one coming up in next October, right? 1 year from now.
Yes, exactly a week from, or a year from this week. I haven't announced it yet, so you're the first to officially hear about it. But I've committed to doing, leading another trip the week of May 4th through 10th in 2020. And that's going to have a different itinerary. Of course, the same focus on leadership, people, and revitalization. This time we'll be focusing the majority of the time down on the island of Kyushu and going to the Toyota Lexus plant. And Mr. Abizawa, who has a leadership role at the Toyota Lexus plant, will be joining us and walking us through that experience, as well as a lot of the suppliers on the island of Kyushu, where Toyota has really worked in close connection to teach those companies TPS, because it wasn't very known or advanced as in the manufacturing industry down there up until Lexus came put a plant down there. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to Japan at the end of January to, I need to go to Gemba, so I need to go and check all these companies as well. I've already been to the Toyota Lexus plant about 4 years ago. So I'll know more about the official itinerary then, but I'm accepting enrollment now, and it's going to be another fabulous trip as well. And Mr. Yoshino will be there for the trip as well.
Okay, well now I'm thinking I need to go on that trip too then.
I know, well, that's part of the plan. Maybe people can come back twice to have continued learning experiences.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, Katie. I appreciate that you're affording this opportunity to us to come along and be our guide on this trip.
Awesome. Thank you, Patrick. I'm thrilled to have you coming along too. It's what gives me so much energy as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.